Poetry. We think as poets. We look at things and we like things that rhyme. I'm a poet and I don't know it. But look in my eyes. What do you see? I don't know. The guy looks Chinese to me. Does he eat M&Ms too? Do the Chinese eat M&Ms? Are they prejudiced against M&Ms because they're not flat like their eyes? They're big and round like American eyes. We Americanized M&Ms. They look like eyes too, don't they? I mean, look at it. There's my eye, and there's an M&M, and my eyes are green. My eyes are blue, and sometimes when I stay out late at night, they're red. The next morning, they're just red as can be. But the Irish, the green in my eyes, the blue and the green in my eyes. I got green and blue in my eyes. I don't know. Can you see my eyes? I don't know. I'm taking. How do you do that? How do you shine a light on your eyes so you can see the true color of your eyes? Because they say, if you want to know what a man's soul is like, look into his eyes. What do they tell you? When you look in my eyes, what do they tell you? You gotta listen to my voice, too. Do they tell you I love you? I love all of you. I care about humanity. I pray for humanity all the time. I love every race on earth. I am not prejudiced at all. I love everybody. I hope everybody makes it to heaven. God's like that too, I'm just a reflection. I'm just a mere reflection of what God is like for humanity. I mean, He loves humanity so much. He died for it. The night before, He says, God, Holy Father, can you take this cup from me? Is there any other way? Not my will be done, but thine, Father. And we say the same thing, don't we? Hey, you changed my life, God. Can you make it some other way? Well, everybody, it may not seem it, but God has got you where you are because He's working on you. If you're poor, someday you're going to be very rich. And if you're rich, someday you're going to be very poor. If you don't walk in the door of heaven with Jesus as your ticket. Because He died for that ticket. He didn't owe it. He paid it anyways. He paid it with His life. Do you have any remorse or any regret or any whatever chutzpah? Do you even care or believe in it? I had an uncle, he says, what do you bring the priest here for? He's in bed in the hospital. He's going to die any hour or any minute or whatever from what the doctor was saying. I'm panicking, I'm going, oh, He's here. He called me. God called me to take care of my uncle because He knew I loved him. So I went over to his house and he called me up. He said, Bill, come on over here. He says, I hurt myself. You got to come over here and help me out. You can come over? And I said, I'll be right over. And I walked in and there he was sitting on his chair, smoking a cigarette and hoping I could go to the store and buy him a bottle of Black Velvet or something because the doctor told him not to drink, but he hadn't drank. Now he did something to himself real bad. He fell and he broke his back, and he was sitting in that chair. I don't know how he got back in that chair at all. He sitting in that chair. I didn't sit down and question him. He was in agony. He was in pain, you know. Well, I didn't question him. I just said, give me your hand. I'll see if you can stand up. And I reached down and he grabbed my arm and I pulled him up on it. He was light as a feather, and I pulled him right up and his back popped. I heard a boom. I said, oh, sit down. I'm calling the ambulance. Sounds like something broke back there. Well, okay. Can you go to the store and get me a bottle of booze? Yeah. His last request. Oh, God. No! I didn't say that. But his wife probably would have, or his daughter, or something like that, you know. I'm his nephew, you know. I just knew him here and there and talked to him in the bars once in a while. And he wasn't very much of a close uncle to me, but like my other uncles, I have some other uncles. I have uncles that took me sleigh riding when I was a child, and I have uncles that listened to me, counseled me, you know, wanted to know about my faith and wanted to secure me, and they loved me. I was their brother's son. They all loved me. I loved them too. But my uncle goes, laying there, sitting there, and I'm calling the ambulance and stuff, and everything, you know, he got the ambulance coming and everything. He says, oh, what I owe you? And he says, oh, I'm thinking, I should do it for free, but I got money invested and everything, and materials and all that. $600. I just redid his bathroom, walls and floors, and took out the toilets and sinks, and painted everything, put new window in. It was $5,000 job, easy. And I charged him $600. And then there's a story that goes with that, because after he died, the lawyers called me up and says, did he pay you off? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, he didn't pay me a fraction of what he owed me. And I says, well, what does he got? Can I get some more? And he goes, yeah. He says, we'll give you what you want. And I thought fair-wise, you know, just $10 an hour or something like that. Oh, $1,500. And the lawyer goes, oh, okay, I'll send it to you. So I send it to him, and then I hear the rumors. Oh, he was paid up, and he went back after he died and tried to get more money and all that stuff. I just, imagine that, coming from my family, thinking that about me. I took the $1,200 or whatever it was, $1,000. It was $1,000 I got. Because I had the $500, $600 I charged him, but I asked for $1,500 more. So I went, and after that happened, I had it in the bank. I didn't do nothing with it. It was there. I mean, then I heard the rumors, you know, oh, he went in and robbed his uncle on his deathbed. What the heck? God in heaven. So I took the money I got from him and I went to the church and I bought him a whole bunch of masses, $1,000 worth of masses. Gave it to the church. And I called it my uncle, and I don't know where the rumors were coming from or who thought what they thought, but I know there was bad rumors about me because I was a child when I was molested, and it went through the family. Everybody knew about it and all that stuff. And nobody wanted me to hug them, or nobody wanted me to be around them or anything like that, so I didn't hang out. I don't go to parties. I don't go to meetings. Because I go and hug them. They'd back off and say, Don't hug me. I don't want you hugging me. Don't hug me. So, that was a deep wound to me. I got back from Vietnam and I looking for love in all the wrong places, I guess. You can't look for love in your family because they've all judged you. Since you were a little child, they know everything about you. So you can't be a prophet or... I can only be a singer. That's all I can be here in Binghamton. I can be a singer. I'm not a prophet. If I go to another country or something like that and I start singing my songs, they listen to them and they could interpret it as being prophecy. I mean, you'll all know if I'm a saint or not by 2035. Why? Because in 2035, there's going to be 700 million Africans. And I don't care if they're white, black, yellow, red, whatever Africans there are. They're going to join the Catholic Church. Why? Because the Catholic Church reached out to them with their priests and made priests out of them and treated them well. Brought them to the United States out of the bushes with spear guns and blowguns and all. Spears and blowguns. Right out of the bushes, God grabbed them. Educated them, made them priests. Then there was a need in the United States, and the bishops said, okay, bring them in. And now look at them. They're monsignors, they're bishops, they're priests, they're nuns, they're brothers. They're doing a good job too. There's a few that snuck in, just like there always are. A few that snuck in, like take Viagra and take your money and run to some town, look up a strange woman. There are those type out there too. But you can't judge the whole church by that. Come on, people. You can't judge the whole church by a few panhandlers. That's what they are, too. I've been up against them. I've had them spit in my face several times. How dare you try to show us the love of God? I put a miraculous medal around the panhandler's head. He told me. He was out in front of the church, and I said, well, how I can help this guy out and this and that. I don't know, bless him with a blessing. I'll give him a medal. I'll give him my old miraculous medal I had in my pocket with the chain on it. The chain was worth a lot of money, too. It was like over $100 when I bought it. And I've had that chain around my neck for 40, 50 years. What's it worth now? Right? I had it in my pocket. And I heard this voice in my head, if you give to the least of these, you've given to me. So I didn't think twice. I says, I got a medal. A miraculous medal. Would you wear it? He looks at me, he goes, put it around my head. And I'm thinking, why does he want me to do that? Because if it was big enough to go around his head, it was probably worth, if it was what he thought it was, probably worth quite a bit of money. So I put it around his head, it fit perfectly around his head, down it went, boom, he sent it, and he put it right there, and he continues begging for his money and all that stuff. And I said, well, let the Holy Mother change him, and let her take and convert him and stuff like that with the miraculous medal and all that. And I'm feeling good about myself, right? And I went back in the church, and I prayed for him and all that. And a couple weeks later, I come back. Because I'm a cosmopolitan Catholic. I don't go to the same church every week. I go to different Catholic churches all over the diocese. Nobody knows when I'm coming. I'm arriving. Nobody knows when I'm arriving. With my guitar. I'm the Allegheny country boy. Hunting and fishing gives me lots of joy. I like them good old mountain streams because they help me think and give me pleasant dreams. Allegheny country boy. Yeah, that's all I am. I'm just a nobody that God loves, and I love him. And I decided to make some videos. So, whatever. Whoever sees them, maybe there's only a dozen people in the world that sees this. But one of them is converted. Was it worth it? You bet it was. A soul that God can love forever because of your interaction, trying to unite your suffering with God's suffering on the cross, because God's suffering is sufficient. But your suffering added to his, it's more sufficient, believe it or not. Your suffering can save souls, because that's how you save souls. You save souls by crying and suffering for them. Just like Jesus did for us. He cried at the rock that night before he was crucified. I've got a picture of it. The only thing was missing was his mother standing next to him. Well, I put her in there. They want to take it, make it so she's just a woman. She's not a vessel. Just a vessel to bring God into the world. How can sin bring God into the world? He wasn't just a vessel. Oh, God. The devil's attacking me with pain right now, all of a sudden. Right at the crescendo of everything I always do. He attacks me. They've had him knock my phone right out in front of me. I never touched it. It went flying. I may be exaggerating a little. Shoot like a bullet. And it just plunkety, plunked out of my sight. Continued running. I recorded the whole song I was doing. It's on video. I put it on video. It's there. I'm not lying, people. You'll see me. I'm playing, and all of a sudden, I'm upside down with some type of black something looking at me. I don't know what it was, but it was continuing on recording. I was recording a song. Right in the middle of it. I was really cooking, too. I was feeling good about it. Commercial or... battery is out of juice, or need to charge your battery. Right in the middle of everything. And we call them stupid demons. I call them stupid demons. Because what they do is they act on your stupidity. This is a college course to learn how to operate one of these phones. I don't care who you are. If you're brought up with them in school and they teach you it in school and then you know how to use it, they're a good tool. It's like having a college degree in your pocket, really. You can put it in anything you want, you know. But you got to pay the price, people. It's all money, 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 money. Your cookies, cookies, cookies. And, you know, just what you want. And they're going to try to grab everything they can get, believe me. They're out there for themselves, not for you. They're just worried about bringing the Gerbers home to their children at night. They got a paycheck. They got a place to sleep. You got a car. Get to work. And it's day after day after day after day. Till the kids are all grown up. And you can see what you did. What you did, was it worth it? Huh? Was it worth it when your children are sitting in jail? You did all that stuff and your child ends up in jail for 20 years. For some stupid thing he did. Receiving stolen goods and didn't know they were stolen or something like that. He was convicted in a kangaroo court. They get these women that get out there, men too, you know. They get that authority and they just shout it at you. And you want to take and shout back, and you'll spend an extra 30 days behind Bubba's home. Come here, son. Oh, come over here to Bubba. Let Bubba teach you about prison. And they all know it. That's what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on, and they won't do nothing about it. You want to treat society like you treated them. Well, you go and get what you gave, and enjoy it. And that's the best you're gonna get. Big Bubba shouting out his orders to you. Come over here, boy. Bubba wants to talk to you. But don't bend down for that soap, because Bubba is behind you. That's the way it is in prison, people. You just go to prison for no reason at all nowadays. Back in the olden days, you had to do something really bad, or you were stoned, or they put you in jail until the price was paid, or until you could work it off. I don't know. They had a lot of things, but nowadays they just don't. You just file bankruptcy, Screw you, everybody. Thank you for your $300,000 for my $100,000 home I took a loan out on. That's what happens to some people, man. China came over and started all the money they stole from us, stealing our patents and everything. They stole all of our patents and then started making it with kids in sweatshops and stuff. 10 cents, 15 cents an hour. They beat us on the market, stifled us. We couldn't sell our stuff and everything as much. We should be the wealthiest country in the nation, but what's happened? Look at what happened in the 70s. Vietnam came along after what? 72? Right in the middle of everything, we passed the law. Abortion. And look what happened to the United States after that. What are we going to do, people? Are we going to just sit around and let foreign countries come in, buy our businesses, and then put them out on the market? Cheap child labor, all the laws and everything we abide by, they say arbitrate them. Arbitrate. I bought a Bible once. This is a good one. $40. Aramaic Bible. I bought it through PayPal. PayPal is going to shoot me between the eyes right now. Watch. So I call up PayPal and say, hey, I didn't get my Bible Aramaic Bible that was translated into English because I wanted to see what Jesus called priests and God and all that. So I wanted to see what the words Jesus used. So I bought it, and it was a pretty good thing. I mean, it's probably a good scam too. And I don't know, somebody's got to monitor that somehow, because PayPal should have known how many people that went through PayPal that paid for that Bible that didn't get it. Because I never got a Bible. And I says, well, I never got the Bible. I paid them the money and through PayPal and everything. He said, well, we'll check it out. I wait a whole month, no call, and I said, I'm going to call him back. I think about it, and I'm going to call him back. Hey, I called you about my Bible that I ordered through you guys. PayPal, $40. Oh, yeah. Sorry we didn't call you back. We got a lot on our plate. A big excuse, and all that stuff. Didn't want to give me the lowdown of what happened. But arbitration is like a fighter going into a hometown of a real popular boy. Right? And he goes in and beats the daylights out of him, but he doesn't knock him out. It comes to a decision. And what do the judges do? The hometown boy wins. Unless he was knocked down or knocked out or something, he wins. It happened to me. I fought the Navy champion. I beat him real bad, too. I didn't knock him out. I could have, because the guy that I knocked out before the fight before I fought him, I knocked the guy out in 30 seconds of the first round. They came in with a stretcher and took him out. They're trying to revive him, and I looked down at him. I says, "Don't revive him. I'll kill him." And they're looking at me like this. I was on fire like Mike Tyson. I was just like that. Come back from Vietnam, and I hate. That's what you gotta be when you're a fighter. You gotta hate. Get in the ring and hate. Kill 'em. That's the only way you win fights, people. Unless you're just so good, you can just stand around and play with them and slap them in the face and punch them in the head and stuff like that until you just, I'm not out of here. You can kick my ass. I'm out of here. There's a lot of guys like that, too. There's guys that I fought that came out, and they were all arms and legs, but they weighed the same as me. But they were 6'4", and they had these arms like spiders. And all they did was stop your punch before it got there. Couldn't get close enough to them because they were jumping around like a kangaroo, and they had their trunks up over their titties, so you couldn't hit them below the belt anywheres. And if you did, you got a point taken away from the hometown referee. You're not winning this fight, boy. You got to knock him out. You better knock him out. We want to see a knockout. You're not winning unless you knock him out. They get you really ticked. Not me. I got religion. At first, after those fights, I got religion knocked into me by a Monsignor Kelleher from Buffalo Boys Town. He says, Bill, he says, calls me up, a year after I won the Golden Gloves, he calls me up. He says, Bill, he says, we got the Golden Gloves coming up, and we got to have Rocky Cudney in there fighting because he's the knockout king, and everybody loves to come and watch him put some big guy on his back. And I says, oh. And he says, but I can't get any fighters for him. And he goes, nobody will fight him. They're all afraid of him. And I'm thinking, like, I'm not afraid of anybody, but he's got way too many fights. I said, Father, he's got like 70 fights, and I got less than a dozen. I just won the Golden Gloves the year before. I was 21, 22, something like that. Before I went to Vietnam. No. It wasn't before I went to Vietnam. It was after I came back from Vietnam. Because at Vietnam, I had a hand grenade. Friendly fire. Somebody tried to kill me over there. That's a long story. It's on my videos. Search them out. I'm not going to go through my cabbage twice on that one. And then I lose my spot. I lose my spot because I have pugilistic dementia. My brother Mike has it too. I mean, we didn't get the beatings that all of our buddies got that were top-rated fighters too, but they're all dead. They didn't make it to 62 to collect their unemployment, or not unemployment, but Social Security. Never made it to that age. Some of them, I mean, they could take a punch and they were on the top, and they were good fighters and all that stuff. But how'd you say? I spell my last name Q. What does a Q look like? That's how they got 51, 55, 50. By the time they were in their early 50s, they were punched out. They didn't know where they were. So I'm thinking, here's a priest calling me up. He's a Monsignor from Boys Town, and he wants me to fight Cuddy because he says he can't find nobody to fight him. He could have found somebody, believe me. He was there for a reason. Because he said to me, because when I won the Golden Gloves, I ran around the ring with a flag in one hand and a cross and a crucifix in the other. And everybody just cringed at me, looked at me. He's crazy. I'm the champion, right? I'm running around giving God the glory with a crucifix and a flag. It was all right for the heavyweight champion of the world to do that at the Olympics, run around the ring with a flag in his hand. But he had the love of God in his heart, but he didn't grab a crucifix and hold it up in his victory. Had the opportunity to. Never saw one crucifix. Maybe I overlooked it. I don't know. But there was champions that were just raising their arms, and I never seen a crucifix in anybody. Maybe they might have, after the fight, put it on their neck and then went around the ring. A big gold cross around their neck, giving God the glory. Well, they didn't want the glory. I saw that, I was humble in a lot of ways. I won the Golden Gloves, big deal, I fought some big guys, too. They were way bigger than me. Hit hard, too. I knocked them down a couple of times. I didn't knock them out. I knocked them down. Second round. Gave it to them real good. Wham! Right on the jaw. Down they went. I was a top amateur. I went to the Nationals. I won the Golden Gloves. My brother was number 1 in the world. He fought Tony Licata, North American champion. He fought him to a split decision, and I was there for that fight. I got a movie about it. You have to watch my videos. I'm not going back, like I said, chew my cabbage twice. I don't know where that saying comes from. Who come up with that saying? Oh, anyways, he calls me up and he says, Bill, I can't find nobody. Can you come up and find him? And I says, come on, Father. I only had less than 12 fights. He's had 70. He's fought in the national title. He's won the Pan American title. And I mean, come on, man. You want me to do what? Fight him? Is all I thought you could do what you could do, help out the boys down. Put the guilt on me, And I sat there and I talked about it. I said, well, all I have to do is go up there and take it on the job real quick. Boys Town gets their money, and Father's happy. Because I thought I was the sacrificial lamb, but I didn't realize that he was setting me up. Because he said after the fight, after he got me knocked out, their knockout artist knocked me out. But I'll tell you what happened, because I'm not going to let this film go by with what happened. So I says, oh, Father, okay, I'll come up and fight him. And he goes, okay, well, you've been up here. How much will you weigh? I says, probably around 165, somewhere around there, 60. So you can get it down a little bit, because he's down in the 50s, Can you get your weight down a little bit? I said, okay. So I showed up the day of the fight and everything. I weighed in, and I was 165 or something like that. Is what I told them I was. Now, here I'm the handicapped guy. I've got only 12 fights, and this other guy's got 70, and he's knocking everybody out. So the father, Monsignor, he goes, gets my mind, He says, yeah, start losing some weight. How do you do that? And he says, stay in the toilet, try to get rid of that weight. Spit, everything. So here I am, spitting and on the toilet and everything all day long. I got up there early, trying to get my weight down. What a dumb ass I was. just irritating me. I don't know if he was trying to get me mad or something to give a good fight. I go out there and knock out Cudney, and the rematch, you can't get into the building. Cudney got knocked out. And that's what happened. But watch what really happened. So I'm spitting and everything, and he decides he's going to feed us before we go into the ring. He wanted me, I don't know what he had. He wanted me to get my ass kicked real good for some reason. He didn't tell me the reason why till after I fought the fight, got knocked out, got in my car with a glass of wine, driving home. Driving home after being knocked out, 243 miles I'm driving. Got to drive home. God with me, hopefully. He was, definitely. Because what happened was is I got there and I spit and everything. I got my weight down about 161, somewhere. I spit 4 or 5 pounds out somehow. I don't know how I got rid of it, but I got my weight down. Just before the fight, after the weigh-ins, he feeds us, you know. And even the doctor that was sitting at the table told the fighters, he said, take the chicken skin off that chicken, and it's not good for you. You're going to have a fight, you're going to go into a fight and stuff. You'd get upset stomach and all that. So I took it off, I just eat a little bit of chicken, this and that. I should have ate nothing. I should have been on there running around the building or something like that a little bit, getting my sweat up and getting my mind conditioned and everything, because I could have beat this guy. Here's what happened. So we get to the ring and all that. I'm up there sitting in the ring, and Cudney comes in. He sits down in the ring, and Monsignor comes up and he jumps in the ring because he used to be a wrestler. He loved the ring. He'd get in the ring, and you could just see him come alive, And he looks at me and he says, "This is not a 3-round fight. This is a 5-round fight." And I'm looking at him, it's news to me. And I was thinking in my head, I don't only need a minute. Oh, conditioning. Watch how conditioning sets in. Watch this. So here I am. I'm all over the United States fighting everybody, pros and amateurs and everything in the gym with headgear on. I'm sharp. So I get up, sitting there. I didn't say nothing after he said it's a 5-round fight. I didn't say nothing, so I just sat there and the bell rang and I got up. And I lunged out of my corner and I lunged my left hand right here. I hit him, my whole hand hit him right there as hard as I've hit walls. Put my fist through him. He's standing there looking like this. And I'm looking at him and I'm saying, "Are you okay?" Then he come back to life. Came back. He stooped down and got into his Customato stance. That's who his trainer was, Customato, Mike Tyson's trainer. He got in his Customato stance and wham! The right hand hit me right on the jaw, and I was out cold. I had that fight. Because if I hadn't stepped back and asked him if he was all right, I could have ripped my left hook in his ribs and broke them all like I've done before to everybody I fought when I hit him like that. He was out cold. He didn't know where I was going to hit him next. And I stepped back and grabbed my heart. My heart's not a fighter's heart. As I saw him going. And I says, "Are you okay?" Dummy! But it probably saved my life, really, showing mercy. As mercy was showing me, I got knocked out cold. I'm looking, this is what you get for helping God out. I'm driving No, I get back in the office and I sit down and Monsignor gives me talking to. He's going to scold me for what I did the year before. And I says, what is it? He says, you won the Golden Gloves, and if I would have been there, you would have been sorry what you did. And I said, what? He says, you ran around the ring with the crucifix in your hand. If I would have saw that, he said, I would have slapped your face. And you know something? I would have knelt down and let him slap it. And not done a thing about it. He knew that. He knew human beings. He knew humanity. But he wanted to put it in my head. Respect God. I was giving him the glory of everything. I did respect God. That's the way I saw it. But he didn't see it that way. He sees God the way he sees God. And he's led a lot of young men being better men. And he saw me. Oh, yeah, I got that. I looked at him. I was drinking wine he gave me. I drank it down. I said, okay, I'm out of here. Spend your money where you got to spend it. Pay your bills, whatever. I took mine on the chin. He would have slapped my face for helping you out like I just did. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you do to anybody, you never see the good. You can't stand back. Unless you're a multimillionaire and you go in and people are thirsty and starving to death, and you give them food and water and everything, and they're all wanting you to be the president of their country after that. That happened to me. A brother of mine, a YouTube brother of mine. So anyways, I drink the wine down, I get in my car, and I go, I'm driving, I don't know, an hour or so later, I kind of like stupor, I'm saying, now, come on now, where's my street? Where's my street? I don't recognize this area. Where am I? And then I looked up, and there was a big sign, welcome to Buffalo. And I said to myself, Buffalo? I don't live in Buffalo. I live in Binghamton. Why am I looking for my house in Buffalo? And I learned my lesson right there, Father. Monsignor scolded me, chastised me, and made me realize boxing isn't the right road, Billy. Go another road. He did his job. I didn't think it was justifiable, but it did its job. I mean, that's for sure. I get a lot of stories like that. Like, I go back to that bum panhandler out in front of the church, Put that medal around my head, I put it around his head, and I walked away thinking, well, maybe Blessed Mother's going to save him now. The least, I gave it to the least. So I come back 2 weeks later and I look at him and I said, where's your medal? And he's like, oh, that broke. I had to throw everything out. It broke. I just threw it all out. And I thought to myself, I said, that was my medal, and I have my medal. It was sentimental to me, It was something I gave somebody. I was hoping that it would convert them or something, That chain that I gave you, that was on it, was worth over $100. He's looking at me. He knew what it was worth. He knew everything. He's a disabled vet. He's got a lot of money, but he wants more. So he stands out in front of the church and he's panhandling all these little old ladies for $1 here and 50 cents there every day. And I was kind of mad about it. But it's a way for them to show their generosity, I guess, to God, because God says if you give the least of these, you're giving it to me. So, okay. I said, what about my medal and my $100 chain I just gave that bum? So I go back to the church and I'm really ticked. So after Mass and everything, I just told everybody that was sitting there, I says, I gave my miraculous medal, chain, and everything to that bum out in front a couple weeks ago, and now it says he lost it. So he's looking at me too. He walked down, he cringing from it. He started cringing because all the people were looking at him. He's panhandling them all every week. He don't need the money. He's a disabled veteran. He's making good money. I saw him standing in line over there, the VA. I even mentioned to him, I saw, this is what you do too, huh? I said, I'd let him know. So he cringes and walks away towards the bathroom. I don't know, in the back of the church. And he leaves the church. I just got up and left. Nobody even said or acknowledged it. Come on, what'd you do? What happened? Nobody even cared. So anyways, I get up and I walk out of the church. The only guy walking out the back of the church is emptied out and everything, and I look down on the floor. There's my miraculous medal. Yeah, I told him it was sentimental to me, you know. So maybe I got a little remorse for what he did to me, but he cashed that silver chain I gave him in a pawn shop somewhere for $10 or $15, probably worth over 100 more. I spent that 40 some years ago on it. All that was there was the metal. I knew it was the right metal and everything. That was all tarnished. I knew what it looked like. It was turning gold because the silver on it was wearing off. And there it was, right in the middle of the floor. I bent down and picked it up and put it in my pocket. Sentimental to me. But the chain, the chain's gone, long gone. I don't know what he does. Does he got a big family? I hope so, or something. Or what do you do? He's spending on some place to buy Viagra, and he got his girlfriend. I don't know what happens. You know, a priest told me one time. He says, I had my last $60. He goes, this woman's out in the street corner crying. I come up to her and I said, what happened? You know. She told him, oh, my son and my daughter, and we're all hungry. We don't have any money, no food, nothing. Oh, the priest is standing there, got his last $60 in his pocket. He goes, so he takes it out and he gives it to me. He says, here, go buy your family some food and stuff like that. He gives it to her. Then he gets in his car and he leaves and he makes a left-hand turn, wrong way. So he has to go around the block, go back to the same place he saw that woman at. And when he did, he didn't realize it. He looked up and it was a liquor store she was in front of. But he didn't give that a second thought, you know. He was just trying to help her out and everything. So here she comes out of the liquor store with a carton of cigarettes and an armful of liquor. Is $60. You help out the least of these, you help out me. I think it's God just wants to see you help somebody out, so he can pay you back and forgive you like you are trying to forgive others. Try to help out others, he'll help you out. Just like you're trying to help somebody else out. That's all that means. They can do whatever they want with the money. They can squander it. They can buy their cigarettes and their tobacco, whatever, chew tobacco, get their liquor, go get in their own life somewhere. I'd hate to be at the end of it, that's for sure. But anyways, that's what happened in that situation. You give and you get, but you don't realize what you gave. You don't see the benefits of it. All you see is a spit in the face. We're doing it. Little things like that. I mean, do something really big, where you got water wells going in all over the place and the children are being eaten by crocodiles because they go to the river to get water and the crocs get them. I got some stories about that. They're on my internet. You can listen to them. Little Joey screaming to his mommy as the croc took him down under. I got that movie on there. Yeah, you gotta hear that one. I cried when I listened to it the second time. As I asked God, I said, God, I don't want to do something on my own. I don't want to lead people astray or anything. Tell me what to say. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to... I don't have a skit or a script or anything I go by. You want one of those, just take and put it on the TV and say, give me a what? Account. What do they do at the end there? The transcript. The book will be written right out for you. All 217 videos I made. You just get the scripts and put them together. You got yourself a life book about somebody who tried, who is trying, and I hope I have succeeded finding God in life. You find God in life, it's the end of strife because you can endure it all. I mean, you might not be able to endure it without crying and throwing a temper and stuff like that once in a while, but you're doing your best and God knows it, so He blesses you. And then one day you don't even remember how you felt when you were feeling bad. You don't remember it because God is there and He's healing you. He's aware of everything. God is so omnipotent and so aware of what He created that He knows about a sparrow flying in the woods and then falling to the ground. Oh, I can hear him now. Oh, that sparrow, yeah. He was the third egg that was hatched. Oh, God. Omnipotent God. I look at it and I say the universe is like, oh, the universe. Our universe. We got a Hubble up there. We got other spacecraft. We're looking. We're penetrating the universe. And guess what, people? There's a wall of universes waiting for their light to get here. And when the light gets here, we won't need a sun anymore for daylight. We'll live in the twilight zone, like I live. I live in the twilight zone. I live in an area that's 23 days of sunlight. Guinness Book of World Records there. We have the least amount of sunlight in this area. Twilight zone. Rod Sterling was born here. I was born. Probably, who knows, same bed or something. Who knows, He was born at Binghamton General Hospital, and we were probably born in the same bed. Well, life is short, but it's meaningful if you look for it. I look for it every day. I get up every morning and I go, oh, here we go again. Where's this? Where's that? Oh, I thought I put it where I can find it. What's it doing over there? I don't remember putting it over there. That type of stuff starts right in on you. First thing in the morning. You go, God, doesn't Satan relent at all? No, he don't. He's so furious about God becoming a pollywog and then coming back and bossing the angels around. That's how he got off 1/3 of the angels out of heaven. The most beautiful, magnificent creature God made, telling everybody, God's losing it. God's losing his marbles. He wants to become a pollywog king, die, and come back and boss us all around. Pollywog. Bossing us around. How did he get 1/3 of the angels? Oh, man. I don't know. You think that when God made the angels, did he make them love? Or is that something they had to find also? To depend and love God. Well, they're doing it now because they're looking at what happened to Lucifer when he said to God, I disagree. I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. I'll never give heed to a pollywog king. That wasn't God's plan. God's plan, he went against God's word. Because even Moses, God told him, strike the rock and the waters will part. Well, Moses goes up and takes his staff and he strikes the rock. And he's waiting around. God's not fast enough for him. Come on, God. I struck the rock. Come on. Why aren't the waters parted? So he takes his staff and strikes it again. Maybe I didn't do it hard enough. And then God said, what did he say to Moses? He says to everybody that doesn't obey what he says. I told you to strike the rock once, and you struck it twice. You will not enter the promised land. Satan, the same thing. You don't listen to God and obey his commandments, people, you're doomed. And that's what we've done in the United States. We've gone against God's laws, first time in our history. We have deviated from God's law, thou shalt not kill, except for in defense of your country. Well, maybe we're defending our country. We're not. I have a bunch of vagabonds running around, living off the government and everything, and not working or anything. Well, if I was Biden, I'd feel good about that statement because he opens up the gates and he lets in people that will work in the fields and pick the potatoes and the beets and whatever needs to be picked. So when you go to the grocery store, you're not saying, where the heck is everything? How come there's no produce or anything to eat? Well, we're zero population growth in the United States. I don't think we've increased 1 million people since we signed that law into effect. 55 million babies could have been born, added on to our citizenship, I guess you would call it. And it's being stolen away right now. We're not doing a thing about it. But That's what happens. He changed the law from God's law. And look what we're going through since 72. What have we gone through since 72? How many wars? How many conflicts? They're wars. How many conflicts? People being killed, they're wars. Can't they see that? Can't you people of the United States see what's going on when you go against God's laws? Chaos, corruption, cheating, lying, perversion. That's the other one. Now two men can go into a home, an orphanage, and spot someone and say, okay, we'll try to adopt him. And we'll get to know him and stuff, and then adopt him, bring him home. He's young. He's not of sexual maturity of any sort. He's just a young child. And they are in love and they want to have a family. So that's their thing. They want to have a family, so they are two men that can't have a family, so they got to adopt one. So they get it, bring it home. I don't know. I don't know if two men can adopt a little girl. I don't know that. I don't know about those things, but I know they can adopt a little boy because this is what happens. And we all listen. We all know what happens. Come on, people. We're all been children. Mommy comes home, Daddy comes home, and then there's all this moaning and groaning and screaming and hollering and heads hitting the walls and all that stuff, and you're standing there, what's going on in there? Are they fighting or something? And you're just a young kid. You don't have any sexual knowledge about anything. You don't know what's going on in there. Same thing with two men. They come home, they stick their tongues down each other's throats, and they're screaming and hollering and have whatever it is they do, and the child's listening. Day after day, week after week, year after year. And then he reaches sexual maturity. When he reaches sexual maturity and that stuff starts going on at night and he's laying in bed, he's got his hand full of Vaseline. And there you go. You just perverted a child. Perverted a child. Didn't even know it, did you? Because you're all wound up in your own desires for the flesh. You didn't care about your child. You just wanted them to love you and say, oh, Daddy, can I have this? Oh, can I do that? Oh, Daddy. And where's Daddy? Daddy. Is Daddy in there? Oh, which Daddy do you want? Oh, the confusion right off the bat. Life is confused. Not normal. Abnormal. God doesn't want us sticking our tongues down each other's throats, people. Especially if we're on the same sex. When we get up to sex, there is no sex in heaven. The devil goes, well, we better get it here then. That's what he's doing. He's making it so you definitely don't make it to heaven. Well, show God what he's trying to become is just a bunch of joke. Just a bunch of joke. He created us as beautiful as we are. Magnificently beautiful. But one thing he didn't put in you, Lucifer. You are beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, may God be the judge of that. all the things you've done through the ages to our God who does impossible things. He's made the universe so big we can't even understand how big it is. And he's aware of a sparrow falling in the woods someplace. Oh, he was the third born of that clutch. Wow. And he made the universe and he's present everywhere. How magnificently godly is that? God can't be any greater than that I can think of. Of course, it's me thinking. That's why I say, God, your will be done, please, God. I surrender. And look at the mess I'm in, God. Just look at yourself, people. You're in a big mess. You get the people, though, that, well, I got a good job, I got a car, I got a house, I got everything. You got everything but the love of God. Realized. God loves us all. God loves us no matter what state of mind or where we are in life. He loves us, period. He just loves us. He died for sinners, people. There were no angels walking around praising God. And, they're all, oh yeah, Lord, Lord, oh, praise you, God, oh, we love you, God. But they don't eat and drink of the body and blood like Jesus said they have to do to have eternal life, because if you don't do that, you don't have any life within you at all. None. You're a none person. I don't mean you're female. See how he works with words, too. You can't even say a word. Oh, arrive, Lord Jesus, arrive. Because he took in the other word, adulterated. Oh, we gotta make adjustments, too, don't we? I don't know, icon shit. This is like, I saw a picture once drawn from a monk. And, the monks, they get in there and they have their own thoughts and stuff, and he wanted. So he drew a picture of Christ slouched down up against the cross or something like that. And he had his garments on. And this is the sickest picture I probably can remember about somebody doing something that was, I don't know, I wanted to buy the picture. It was a lot of money, but I wanted to buy the picture so I could tear it up and rip it up and put it in a fire or something, burn it up. But he had a picture of Christ laying up against the cross, slunched over, and he had his diapers on like thing, On the top of the diapers, he has to put crotch hairs all over the top of his diapers he had on when he crucified. You ever see that? The homos, they make so the sash is in the front and the sash is tied up in a ball, so it looks like, you know what, Podicolium City, I guess. Sitting. Podicolium sitting. That's what I thought. Crotch hairs protruding out at the top of the diapers he's got. Who's ever seen something like that and not looked at it as being perverted? And I told the priest about it. He looked, his eyebrow went up, and he says, Everybody thinks about how pure purity is in their own way. Something to that effect. And if I would have had the money, I would have bought that picture and put it in a fire. No one ever seen it. But then again, if I would have done that, next time I went back, there probably would have been 10 of them. Hey, he paid $60. See, 10 times 60, that's $600. If I make 10 of those pictures, let's see, where did I file that? Get the file out, make some copies, put them out there again. We got a guy who is buying them and burning them. How many? We'll make them go broke. That's what we'll make them. Because there's guys in there that do that, people. They run a game on you. I don't know. I can't figure them out. I got this one I gave quite a bit of money to, and I told him it's for ministry down in Kenya. He said, "Oh, go ahead." He said, "I got ministry down there. I help out orphans and stuff." He mentioned that, right? I says, "Well, here's $500 for you and $1,000 for the ministry down there. I'm a big spender, aren't I?" If I had more money, I'd give a lot more than that. When I don't have anything, hardly. I got just enough to survive. God takes care of me. Not one. Thank you. So he tells me, "Oh, yeah, I'm working with this orphan down there." So I said, "Well, tell Father Jim, here's some money, here's money for the ministry and all that stuff." So time goes by, and he says, "I'm going down to Kenya. Is anything you want me to ask Father James about?" And I go, "Yeah, ask him how much it costs to put a water well in down there. So I can tell people we need this much money to put a water well in the village and stuff." And he goes, "Okay." So he comes back, and I'm in contact with the priest down there. I don't know if he knew that because I have his chat number. I don't have a phone number. They won't ring, and you can't ring through because it's out of the country and everything. But you can chat. And so I write his email. It's a Gmail. I think it is, or it's a Hotmail maybe. I don't know. So I emailed him. I said, I sent Father Paul down there with a donation and all that stuff. I says, I want to help you put in a water well. I mean, how much are they? I've been trying to find out how much they are. So I can lobby around here and see if I can raise enough money to put a water well in, so your mud hut people don't have to walk down to the river and get a bucket of water. Yeah. It's lucky it's a drought because the river's down and they can go out in the middle of the river. It only comes up chest high. But when they go out there, they got to switch the top of the water because turds floating on it. Everything and their brother lives in that river. And nobody knows what's being dumped in it either. And we all know about pollution. We all know about people dumping stuff in the rivers. Especially if they've got a factory that's making some money that nobody other countries want to make the product because it's so contaminated and stuff. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but I'm saying it's likely to happen that way. I'm trying. I've got 217 videos, and I'm trying to raise money for water wells in Kenya, and what happens? I have a YouTube brother, and his name is Jim, and he made a lot of money with his ads and stuff. He figured a way out, and he beat the system. And now he's got quite a bit of money coming in. He's got good donations being donated and all that. They got a trust fund. So that's the only thing I got going for me if I sell my property at capital gains. get my money. I don't have to pay all that tax. Imagine if I say if you have 8%, 10,000, be $8,000, right? Of what? No, 10,000. 8% of 10,000 would be $800. What is it? 100, 1,000, something like that. I don't know how it comes out. I know it's 8% around here. So you got a house that's quite a bit of money. Around here, it's not worth like it is on the coasts. I'm a broker. I'm a real estate broker. I know what I'm talking about. You know, as far as pricing homes, I've done them for banks all over the United States. And around here, you just can't get a fair price because around here, back then when I was doing a lot of stuff, it was $150 to $200, almost to $180 per square foot. You could use that figure to figure out how much it would cost to build a house, not counting land, utilities, and all that stuff. Just to build the house, square footage wise, is approximately, that's electrical and plumbing and everything else, appliances and everything, around $200 to $230 a square foot today's price in this area. I don't know, I might be off with other people's calculations, but I don't agree with Zillow on their big business, too. Zillow, they have me listed as 1,300 square feet, but they don't consider the 1,300 square feet below grade that I have. Because I have a raised ranch. I built a raised ranch because inch and a half below grade you don't pay as living space. And that's what I did. I built a raised ranch. No walkout basement. And that's what happened. I got lower taxes, and so Zillow looks at my property and it says 1,300, so they say it's only worth blah 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 blah. According to them, you build my house on the coast or something, a multi-million-dollar home. I have 2,600 square feet with a pool, a pergola out front, 14 by 14 with a roof on it. Double lot, 8-foot fence in the front. You're going to have a gate that opens and closes when you push a button. I got that planned. Not going to cost much either. If you know how to do it yourself. That's what I am. I have a tech degree. I have a 4-year tech degree from Florida Technological University down in Florida. Florida Technological University in California. I'm talking too much. Maybe I should get up and get a cup of coffee and have some breakfast or something. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Well, yeah, I leave you right in the middle of everything. But I'll catch up on another film. If you stay in tune with me, you'll know what's going on. If I forget to tell you in one film, I say, I forgot to tell him that in that film. I'll do it in this film. So, episode number 218 coming up, people. Matter of fact, I've already got it made. I just haven't uploaded it yet. I'm going to be 218 after upload. It's this one right here. And I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on telling everybody. Don't get